What comes to mind when you hear the term pumpkin spice latte?
All things fall. Too sweet.
Do you personally enjoy pumpkin spice drinks or items?
Yes and no.
We'll say fall. Garbage. And, Halloween, October, the best season.
So are you not a fan of pumpkin spice?
I don't like pumpkin spice anything.
Pumpkin spice lattes? Fall. Hot fall in a cup.
See, Tyler's the one that is ruining everybody.
Welcome to the Coffee Snobs podcast, where we just really love good coffee.
So grab your cup of coffee and join us each episode as we explore any and everything coffee related.
From pour-overs to lattes to the coffee experience, we explore it all because life's too short to drink bad coffee. Here we go.
So today we're talking about pumpkin spice latte.
Yes, Lord.
Just so much disdain in my voice. I wish you could see the glare in my eyes.
He looks pretty upset.
But so the reason for this topic is a few days ago, me and Tyler were out with our wives for dinner. We stopped by a Starbucks, which I don't even know why. I was the one driving, wasn't I?
I think so.
How did you get me there?
I really wanted coffee.
God
and it
damn.
was, like we talked about before, the best coffee shop is the one that you can actually get to.
That
I think
is
it was
true.
the only coffee shop that was really available to us.
It
so
was.
we stopped in the Starbucks.
Yeah, I did not get anything, but
Yeah, 'cause you're too snobbish.
I am. But you did get a drink, and tell
I
us
did.
what that drink was.
I got a pumpkin nitro cold brew. And just in case you're not familiar, roughly, I guess, a year or so ago, Starbucks started offering cold brew in most of their stores, nitro cold brew. That just means it's been essentially infused with nitrogen, and it makes just a really smooth, refreshing cup of cold brew coffee. And since it's already, almost fall, Starbucks has their seasonal menus out. And
See, okay, so we're going to pause right here because this is what's frustrating to me about the PSL.
PSL, permanent seat license?
No.
Carolina Panthers?
No, it's pumpkin spice latte.
Okay.
Pumpkin.
So you're pretty familiar with this
No,
product.
listen, come on. It's terrible. But, guys, it was August 27th, 2019 when Starbucks decided to roll out the pumpkin spice latte, their fall menu. It's crazy to me.
It is. I mean, I think each year as pumpkin fall, whatever you want to call it, has become more and more popular. Starbucks and other coffee places are rolling out their fall menus earlier. And it does sound kind of odd when you're drinking a fall beverage and it's 90 plus degrees outside. Hence, that's why I went with a cold brew, because it was hot outside and I wanted some refreshing coffee. But let's roll it back to pumpkin spice. What is pumpkin spice? If you've ever taken a breath on this earth or driven by Starbucks, surely you know pumpkin spice is a seasonal beverage that has been very, very popular. So
Extremely popular.
Popular.
Tell the people how popular, Tyler.
How popular. So, giving a little bit of background, Starbucks is credited with inventing the pumpkin drink craze back in 2003. So 15, 16 years ago is when Starbucks started with the pumpkin. And in that time period, they have made an estimated 1.5 billion with a B just on pumpkin beverages.
Just on basic people.
Basic people like me, yeah. And what is a basic person, Aaron? Can you explain that to our audience?
Bro, it's a basic B, but we won't even go all into that. No, seriously. I mean, look, kudos to them. Like, I was at a coffee shop just recently talking with somebody about Starbucks, and we both were coffee connoisseurs, really loving what the coffee industry is doing.
Yep.
And, slightly frustrated on one side for Starbucks. I mean, I understand what they've done from a business model.
Sure.
It is the freaking smartest thing that you can do. I mean, I understand riding the craze. I mean, Groundwork did a seasonal menu.
Yeah, I mean,
and I get it. It's just, what frustrates me, Tyler, I'm just going to put it out there. What frustrates me with the PSL is it's no longer coffee. It's just how much syrup can we cover up the crap we're brewing?
I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but it's just a cultural phenomenon.
It is.
So like I said, pumpkin spice came out, 15, 16 years ago in 2003, and I did just a little bit of research on this. So basically, Starbucks, they have like a flavor lab and super nerdy scientists who are, always thinking of drinks. And until that point, basically, one of their most popular sellers besides just like your plain coffee was, I think, like a mocha drink, which is, chocolate and espresso, milk, all that stuff. So at the time, they really just had like caramel and chocolate as like the sweet flavors in their drinks. And they were just trying to come up with something new. And somehow they stumbled upon pumpkin. And, normally when you first hear pumpkin, I guess I associate that with the fall, Thanksgiving, pumpkin pie, stuff like that. And so in 2003, they rolled out this drink, and it was apparent within like several weeks that they were onto something. So a pumpkin spice latte is basically pumpkin flavored syrup, espresso, milk, and definitely getting to the more dessert side of things. Starbucks also tops theirs with whipped cream. So it's a very, sweet drink. But for me, I don't even recall when I first had a pumpkin spice, probably sometime during college. And that's when I wasn't really as into coffee as I am now. But for me, it was just a mental thing, I guess. I mean, yeah, I liked it, a sweet beverage, but I had one in the fall. Fall is a season I really enjoy when the weather is getting cooler, it's getting close to the holidays and stuff like that. So for whatever reason, when I tried a pumpkin spice, I enjoyed it. Now, like I said, I've gotten what I would consider hopefully a little more refined palate in the past couple years regarding coffee. So I kind of just get pumpkin stuff now just to make you upset, Aaron, because I do enjoy it, but not as much as you hate it, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, look, I understand from a business model what they have done, like what is getting the on-ramp for people to drink coffee. And if it gets you drinking coffee or refines your palate, I can't be too mad at it.
Yeah.
I just wish people could understand that coffee doesn't have to be full of so much, like, you don't have to disguise it and cover it up. Like, I think the reason why the pumpkin spice latte is so popular at Starbucks is because, just honestly, most of their beverages are so god dang hot that it scalds your mouth and you can't taste it, or it's not desirable by itself. I mean, that's
Sure.
one of the reasons why I think the boutique coffee shops will sustain themselves, is because they're producing a good tasting cup of coffee.
Sure.
I mean, and I don't think. I mean, look, I know I'm super critical on them. I try not to be. I want you to understand, like, I do appreciate Starbucks, but also on the other hand, I don't think that they make a top level coffee beverage.
I would definitely agree with you on that. And we've talked about previous episodes, once I've been exposed to what, good coffee, something like Not Just Coffee, Enderley, Groundwork, a lot of local shops. Once you've had something on that level, you realize, oh, Starbucks isn't as good as I thought. So I definitely am not looking to stop in a Starbucks. If I have a choice between a local shop, I'm definitely going to try them first. But like we've mentioned in some earlier episodes, maybe you live somewhere where there's not a convenient local shop and your only option is Starbucks. Well, that's unfortunate, and maybe you should take up being a home barista if that's the case. But, I look at it as, like you just said, Aaron, if nothing else, the pumpkin thing, if it just gets somebody in the door and exposes them to the idea of coffee, maybe it will pique their interest and they'll, be willing to try other beverages. So Starbucks is the granddaddy, of the fall drink, the pumpkin spice and all that stuff. And honestly, I really don't get that often in the fall. for me, it's just kind of like a marking of the year. You hear pumpkin is out at Starbucks or Dunkin' or wherever, and you're like, oh, you think it's fall. But like you said, I think Dunkin' and Starbucks came out with their fall drinks this year in August. And here in North Carolina, it has stayed in the 90s in temperature-wise. It's been really hot. And to me, fall and hot weather are not good. I like the cool, crisp air of fall. So maybe it's just an emotional thing I'm getting to. Like I said, I look forward every year to fall when the weather starts to cool down. But I definitely would say that it's gotten out of hand as far as releasing your fall beverages, when it's super hot, August, September, stuff like that.
Yeah, so another stat that's just crazy is 350 million drinks, PSLs, were sold in 2017 at Starbucks. So that's just pumpkin spice lattes.
And that's just Starbucks.
That's just Starbucks.
In the past couple years, you can't hardly go anywhere that doesn't have pumpkin. McDonald's even serves a pumpkin coffee in the
a
fall.
pumpkin
McDonald's,
pump or whatever.
7-Eleven.
Seriously,
it's everywhere. So I think that's just interesting to me from like you said, a business side, because they have pumpkin spice Oreos now, and that's just ridiculous.
Seriously, they're riding the crave, and I almost am interested in, is this
sustainable?
Well, not even. Is this like what Onyx is doing?
And who we're talking about? This
Onyx is another roaster. And they have a few bags of coffee that they brew up in their lab, where it's like $100 for 4 ounces of beans.
That's insane.
It is,
even for a coffee snob.
But I am my same thought process on this is from this was drawn up in the lab.
Yeah.
And it's hitting a market, and so from a business side, I don't know if you can be too mad at them.
I ain't mad at you.
I mean,
well,
it's crazy.
Let's try to look at it from a positive spin, though. So, even Granddaddy coffee shops that we all talked about, not just coffee.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, they have a fall beverage.
They do.
Some kind of pumpkin-esque stuff. And Groundwork Coffee in Concord, we just visited there on Saturday, and they've got a pumpkin, a spiced caramel latte, the seasonal. So, are they doing that for love of coffee, or are they doing that, to keep up with the Joneses?
I mean, I think you have to look at it from a business standpoint of, there's going to be all these basic people looking for PSLs, and it's just a smart move to have a seasonal menu.
Sure.
But then again, going back to it, I don't know if the PSL that's going to be served at the Bucks versus a PSL, I could guarantee you it would taste a lot better, and you would actually taste coffee, and it wouldn't be covered in syrup, and you wouldn't crush the coffee flavor if you got it at a boutique coffee shop. Let me just say that. I think that is my big frustration. I think if you could taste some type of coffee in a PSL from the Bucks, great.
So let me ask you this, Aaron. When is the last time you had anything pumpkin from Starbucks?
It's been a long time. I hadn't been basic in a long time. Let me just say that.
You are pretty snobbish. Well, hey, I'm not going to argue with you here. I mean,
you can, because I haven't had one in a while, so I'm speaking out of ignorance slightly.
I think there's a challenge here. I think we're going to have to get some video footage of Aaron drinking pumpkin.
Listen,
from
if
Starbucks,
you want,
just for pure research purposes.
Listen, I'm not gonna waste $5.
Okay.
I'm not gonna waste $5 on a PSL. But if you would like to purchase me one, I will take a sip.
Well, I would take it out of our ad revenue, but since that's currently 0.0, we'll see if we can make that happen. If you guys would like to see. No, but like you said, pumpkin, you can't avoid it now in the fall, and it's ludicrous when it's 90 plus degrees outside to be wanting a fall beverage. But like I said, I look at it from the positive. You said you tried a whatever that flavor was the other day, a caramel apple latte iced.
I know. Listen,
And
I know
it was
I'm
really
double
good.
talking.
See?
Listen, I understand. I understand the double talking out of my mouth.
Okay.
But it's just maybe it's just too
Are you secure in your manhood?
100%. But maybe I don't know. I just can't get behind it.
That's cool.
I can't get behind it. I don't know what it is.
Well, that's fine.
There's very few things I stand for, but I won't stand for this.
You won't sit down for that.
I won't sit down for that.
But
Oh man.
we can agree that if nothing else, even if you hate pumpkin spice, whatever, at least it will pique the average person's interest in coffee.
It's the gateway.
There's a gateway. There's people who probably don't go into any coffee shop during the year, but they'll probably, even if it's just once, stop in during the fall for something pumpkin related. So maybe, like, I think that's what a lot of these boutique shops are doing. Like you said, they're offering that on their menu, and the best result is somebody will come in and say, man, this is really good. Maybe I should try something else you guys make, like still a flavored latte, a vanilla latte, or, cortada, different stuff that we've talked about here. So
here's a question. Here's something we've got some special guests lined up, but here's a question. If you are a owner of a coffee shop, work at a coffee shop, I would love for you to drop us a comment. How many non-flavored drinks do you actually serve? So if somebody like, let's say, if there's anyone listening from Not Just Coffee, Groundworks, Press and Porter, Enderley, any of those in the area, Queen City Grounds, any of our Charlotte coffee shops that would love to come on and talk about what the ratio to syrup-based drinks to just straight coffee drinks would be. I would love to know that, because I am probably the rarity. I'm probably the small percentage of people that don't get a flavored beverage drink when I go to a coffee shop. Now, I have lately been trying other things, but like my coffee consumption, 90% of my coffee drinks throughout the week are strictly Americanas, pour-overs, like that type of coffee. It's just coffee and water is what mine is. But I would be interested to see, like, maybe I'm off. Maybe this PSL is a big thing and we need to get on it.
yeah, I mean, I would love to hear from anybody, baristas, owners, whatever. I think we have a couple interviews lined up in the works, so we'll keep a lid on that for time being. But if I had to make an educated guess, I would say that the average person that stops in a coffee shop is probably going to get something flavored. But I would be very curious to see, like what percentage of people are getting plain drip coffee, pour overs, etc.
Yeah, I think it was that the New York Times that posted that thing about coffee snobs last week about what the average cup of coffee right now is going for. I think it's like $5.24. Was that right?
Really? I don't know if I saw that exact thing. I saw something about people paying $3 or $4 for like a little tiny packet of instant coffee or something crazy like that. But
yeah, the coffee industry is currently going crazy. So, but this has been today's topic. We've wanted to talk about pumpkin spice lattes. If you like the pumpkin spice latte, let us know. If you don't, please let us know. Like, seriously, like, send fire hate mail to PSL. That would be fantastic.
We're going to take an informal poll, and we'll let you guys know the results. But no, seriously, if there's a seasonal beverage that you like or you think we should try, we will do it all in the name of research on the Coffee Snobs. So, again, we've got several good interviews coming up and some fun topics. So, I guess that about wraps it up for today, Aaron.
So if they want to follow you on the web.
So, me, Tyler, I'm on the Instagram at Ty Dancy, Tydancy. What about you, Aaron?
Aaron Beaver, AARONBEAVER on Instagram.
And
the one that we haven't spoke about today, we almost went through the entire show without mentioning.
Mr. Super secret probation? Okay,
Yeah.
Chad.
Lock.net/connect.
There you go. And hopefully Chad will be back with us soon. Like we said, he's a busy man.
Yes.
Chad Lingafelt. But for today, we are the Coffee Snobs. If you have enjoyed what you've been listening to, laughed or hated it or whatever, leave us a like and review on Apple Podcasts. That really just helps us spread the word.
Yeah.
So again, thanks for listening today. We will be back soon. So peace out, guys.
Adios.